8:42 on this Saturday morning. It is, of course, time to talk Latrobe Valley soccer. Trevor Reese, a very good morning to you.
Morning, boys. How are you?
Going very well, mate. Looking at last week's results, round 13 action of Latrobe Valley soccer. Well, there were some big ones and a little bit one-sided as well. Some good goals scored out of the Newborough-Lawn game.
Yeah, 6-2 to Newborough there. Look, Newborough, they're a quality outfit and they've just bounced back. They've left Sale licking their wounds here a little bit. 2-1 up at half-time, Newborough, and they just kicked away in that second half, polling on 5-1. Goals from all over the park. Nobody really scoring a bag there at all. But Sale, they're pretty much done and dusted for the year at the halfway point.
What about this next game? Traralgon City played Fortuna. We thought it would be a close match when we spoke about this last week. We wondered whether blood would be thicker than water, whether you would go with the bloodlines there and tip Traralgon City. You did, but a 4-0 result Traralgon City's way. We didn't see that one coming.
Nah, not at all. Two very, very different sides here. One's got an average age of about 4.5 months, and the other one's on the far older end of the scale there. And the young blokes say they had it all over Fortuna here, 4-0. Only 1-0 at half-time, so anything could have happened from there. But David O'Dowd, who is one of the older blokes at Traralgon City, he got himself a brace. Fortuna missing a few players on weddings and
wedding duties, Albanese duties,
all that sort of stuff.
But the big thing there, Trev, was that both sides were sitting on 18 points at the start of the game. So for Traralgon City to come away with the win, they need to give themselves a bit of space between them and Fortuna in 8th position. So it's a big one to help them lock themselves into the finals race.
Yeah, correct.
And, of course, Traralgon Olympians having a 3-0 victory. I reckon you would have tipped that one?
Yeah, tipped that one. Not as many goals as I was probably expecting from this, from both sides, really. Young Liam Antonelli, he's only about 15, 16 years old, I reckon. He got himself a couple of goals here alongside old stager Anthony Pardo.
Oh, did he have the headers working out there, Pardo?
I heard it was a bicycle kick.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Made that up. Who knows?
Goodness gracious me. What about this one? Moa United travelling nicely on top. We thought they would account for Monash, but again, a one-sided game, 4-0. Monash sitting there in 5th spot. That's a real blow to their chances this year.
Yeah, absolutely. This was a top 2 clash at the start of the round, but Moa, they just went out there and stamped their authority on it early. It was 3-0 up at half-time. Game over by that point. A bag there from Ty Giorgio, 3 goals there, and Joel Baldwin finishing one off himself.
You pumped Falcons boys up the week before. More importantly, Goals Kennedy from the previous week, but 2-0 victory over Traff was a little bit light on for goals, you would have thought, from the Falcons camp.
Yeah, Traff, they've done this a few times this year. They've managed to hold really good sides to only 1 or 2 goals. A goal in each half here. One to Goals Kennedy, of course. DJ Matter got another one. He's just starting to show a little bit at senior level. The last couple of weeks he's played reserves. He's managed 7 goals, so he's come in with some form. He's managed to snag one in the seniors as well.
Do you think that the nickname Goals Kennedy could be a bit of a drag down there? It's starting to really get it. Everyone's g'day Goals. Is it getting to him? We know.
No way.
Jakey Stringer got the package or the present or whatever he was called. His form, as soon as everyone's going the package down. Yeah, Gonski, but Goals Kennedy only won against Traff. Come on, Goals. Come on, Jesse.
You have to be able to absorb that type of pressure, and Goals Kennedy loves that sort of attention.
Do we maybe have to? Well, look, I'll put it out there. If he doesn't fire this week, when we get to the
nickname's gone.
No, not gone. We're just going to put it to rest for a little while, just for the sake of the Falcons side and their chances in this season. They don't want to get ahead of themselves. What about this game, your boys? I did notice you've brought multiple dice in today, or two die. Any reason for that? That just doesn't go up to 9? Or
some pretty reasonable form there by the Rams on the weekend. Toot toot, they're doing all right. 9-1 against Tyres. Scoreline doesn't at all flatter Tyres for obvious reasons. Probably shouldn't have been that sort of a scoreline. They were unlucky not to get another goal or 2 into that. For the Churchill boys, up 4-0 at half-time, they're able to make a few cheeky subs. A bloke who's been out for about 18 months, Simon McLean, he's come back and he's scored on his debut again, I guess. He's only a young bloke, but the goals came from all over the park on this one. A couple of blokes with 2 and everyone else seemed to just bob up and get one themselves.
So let's move on then to round 14 action of Latrobe Valley Soccer this weekend. And we'll start off with Moe United up against East Gippsland. It doesn't get any better for them.
Yeah, well, this is top against bottom. Moe by how much?
Well, they've been all right at home lately, East Gippsland, though.
About a month ago, they got trounced by Sale 9-0.
That was a month
there.
ago. I said lately. Lately's 2 weeks. Had a bye last week. And
they're negative 43 on goals difference at the moment.
Yeah, most of that came in the first 5 rounds.
Righto.
Yeah, it's a difficult one. No matter how you sum this one up, East Gippsland are actually heading down to Moe on this one. I think I'm pretty sure about that. They've got a couple of ins, but I think they're going to need more than that to get to really push Moe here. Look, last week they managed to soak up a lot of pressure with the bye. No goals there. But this week they might be under a bit more pressure from Moe. 10-zip.
Oh, gee whiz. What about this one? Newbury-Yallourn finding some form again. Fortuna got no form whatsoever based on their last few weeks. What do you think, Newbury-Yallourn, just to keep on marching on?
Yeah, they've got two completely opposite form lines here, like you said. The big loss last week to Fortuna. You'd expect plenty of work on the training track this week. Luke Cheney, he's a pretty hard taskmaster. He'll run the blokes, absolutely rugged. But Newborough, they've got to go into this one as favourites. I'd expect at least 2 or 3 goals from them. Fortuna might be up against it here. I'm tipping 3-1.
What do you make of the Sale United and Traralgon Olympians? Sale have just completely fallen off the face of the earth.
Yeah, look, 3 months ago, Sale were one of the sides to look out for. They've had a good 2-3 years in the past. They were one of the favourites to get some silverware this year again. But look, I feel like they've got the cattle to take the points, but look, I'm going to be a bit spiteful and vindictive because they keep stuffing up my tips, and I'm going to say they're going to get done here. It's at home for them, but Traralgon Olympians, they've found some real good form in the last few weeks. They were a little bit questionable early on in the year, but they seem to have found something, even against the top sides. I'm tipping them to win this one 2-1.
What about this one? Traralgon City taking on Monash. Big game here. Traralgon City 6th, Monash 5th. Traralgon City win this, they would jump above Monash on the ladder, and Monash was sitting second only a week ago. So got a really big game in terms of how the final structure will land on the ladder.
Yeah, absolutely. This is definitely my game of the round. A lot of these games are first against bottom, second against second bottom sort of thing. But these are 2 teams really close to each other. Plenty of stuff to fight for here for both sides. They're after points. After recent results, the Roosters, they should and would be crowing. They're the cock of the walk at the moment. The Wolves, however, they've been taken down a peg, like you said. Ty Christie, no goals last week for the first time all season. Just about anything could happen here. I'm going to sit on the fence, but I'm going to throw some goals out there and say 3-all.
Well, there you go. What about Churchill got 9 last week? They take on Traff down at Traff this week. Can they get 10?
Well, on paper, this game should be over early. I'm not expecting that. Traff, they are pretty good at home. They held Falcons 2-0 last week, so that shouldn't be discounted at all. Last time they played against the Rams, they held us to 2-0 as well. A couple of good ins for Churchill, Paul Rees and Mitchell Jackson. Dean Pyle and Michael Eason come out of the side, so they're pretty similar sort of players coming in and out. Look, the Churchill boys, we're looking forward to playing on a really good surface. We're hoping to be able to play a bit of soccer. We'll see what the wind does. To say we're confident would be a lie, but we're pretty hopeful of getting the points here again.
Well, you have brought in a 12-sided dice, so I don't know what that means, but let's see what happens with it.
All right, so I'll go with Traff.
Traff first.
4.
Oh, dear.
That's plenty of goals there. 5. Churchill win 5-4. We'll take that.
Oh, there you go.
3 points in the bag.
What about this game? Tyres Lightning taking on the Pegs. 1 point separating 10th versus 11th. Tyres at home. They'll be a little bit murky maybe underfoot out there. Are they a chance to knock off the Pegs tomorrow at 3 o'clock?
Yeah, absolutely. Both sides struggling along at the moment, like I said, 10th and 11th. They need some goals. Whoever wins this game, they really take themselves out of that wooden spoon race and maybe give themselves a chance of a top 8 spot. They do need to pick up a lot of points in the second half of this season, but at least at this early point they do both get an opportunity to get into that. I'm tipping Tigers to win this 2-1.
Fantastic, Trev. Thanks very much for your time this morning, talking all things Latrobe Valley Soccer. We'll catch you next week.
Thanks, boys.
And, of course, that wraps up